lows today, 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And yesterday didn't turn out to be a bad day at all.
Yeah, a little cloudy, but the sun ended up peeking out right in the evening, and it was 60s, not quite 70s, but it was dry.
Yeah.
And today,
We're heating up.
but also look at that. We've got sunshine, clear skies already starting to form. Let's take a live look outside on our Cappy Tower camera. You can see here the sunrise out in the distance, the earliest sunrise of the year for the next few days. Now, unfortunately, some locations are waking up to some patchy fogs. You can't quite see the sunrise early today, especially in Oneonta, where I'd love to show that sunrise camera, but again, covered with fog. Cooperstown, foggy start. The rest of central New York looking entirely dry. And the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s across central New York, 30s up in Saranac Lake. And again, patchy fog. No visibility issues in the Rome area. Heading into Hamilton and the southern valleys, fog is forming. But next 12 hours, highs approaching the low to mid 80s. Bit of a shock, I know, since we've seen 60s and 50s for the past few days, but it's coming. And then following today, we've got some rain showers tomorrow, but a look at potentially the best weekend all year long in that forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Well, this past weekend, Utica.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning, welcome back. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's actually shaping up to be, or Thursday, I should say. It's shaping up to be a very nice start to the day with plenty of sunshine, areas of patchy fog. But as you look across central New York, first off on the traffic camera facing Utica along the arterial, great shot of the sunrise, patchy fog forming in some valley locations, primarily in the southern valleys. But this is a lot better, at least, of a scene compared to the past few days with lots of overcast skies. Great shot of seeing the earliest sunrise of the year today. A live look at traffic flow across central New York. Things are looking pretty okay, but a reminder, between Ilion and Mohawk, 5S westbound is going to be closed for 2 weeks as they work on some paving. So again, Route 5S westbound closed for 2 weeks between Mohawk and Ilion. And so for today, we're talking about patchy fog, mix of sunshine as well. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. We're going to climb into the 80s by this afternoon. So make sure your ACs in your cars work, as well as grab those sunglasses. We could be dodging a stray thunderstorm this afternoon, but we're looking at mainly dry conditions. We're talking about those rain chances tomorrow and that Father's Day weekend forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Enchanted Forest Water Safari.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Thursday, everyone. The time now is 5:17, and we are starting out the day with fog in some spots. A bit hard to see the sunrise on our camera in Oneonta right now. That patchy fog developing in mainly the southern valleys, parts of the Mohawk Valley, and even some of those embedded valleys of the North Country early today. Now, temperatures this morning in the low 50s, some spots upper 40s, but refreshing humidity. That will change, though, as the morning continues on. Temperatures will quickly climb from the 60s into the 80s. Also, something to note, too, as well, earliest sunrises of the year the next few days. So if you have a view of the sunrise, enjoy it now, because following, I would say, the 16th, the sunrise will slowly become later and later in the morning. A live look, the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things are quiet and dry all across central New York. And speaking of dry weather, if you are planning on doing some yard work or some mowing today, today is a good bet. It gets pretty warm with higher humidity as well as a chance for a stray thunderstorm. So you could still mow today. I would not recommend it tomorrow with the scattered showers and thunderstorms, but your best bet would be holding off until Saturday with lower humidity and plenty of sunshine. And speaking of that weekend forecast, this could be one of the best Father's Day weekends or just weekends in general we've seen in quite some time. 70s, sunshine, low humidity. First time I've ever given both weekend days 5 stars each. So go out and enjoy the beautiful weather this weekend. We've been not so lucky regarding nice weather for pretty much all of 2024, and that will change starting this weekend. So we have something setting up next week called the Bermuda High. Maybe some people have mentioned it on social media. You're wondering what it is. This is what's going to be causing a heat wave, potential heat wave next week. High pressure sets up just along the Atlantic coast, right over Bermuda, and this is going to drag in that high heat and humidity directly over our local area here in central New York, and that could bring up those temperatures to as high as the low to mid 90s. But for now, on our Skycast, sunshine to start, a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon, climbing into the low to mid 80s. Chance for a pop-up thunderstorm later on today, but again, most of our area is going to be dry. Then rain showers develop overnight, scattered showers for your Friday, but then things turn a lot nicer heading into the weekend. And so for today, high of 86, partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a low of 66 with scattered showers. 7-day forecast. Father's Day weekend, beautiful. Warming up heading into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 90s, high humidity. I'll do the hazy, hot, and humid. I would do that motto right there with such high heat and humidity. A reminder that people who have health issues, that's why we have alert days, because there is issues with the heat and humidity. Gary?
Makes sense, and we'll be seeing next week for sure.
Yeah.
Eric, thanks. Well, Father's Day is fast approaching. It's this
2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And sunshine already this morning in some parts, right?
Yes, sunny start already. It's been a cloudy stretch, that's for sure, and we're finally seeing warmer temperatures too, well, at least for the afternoon. For now, it's a little chilly. Let's take a live look outside from our camera on top Smith Hill here in Deerfield, and of course, we've got sunshine, patchy fog forming. You can actually see the fog layer developing in the Mohawk Valley facing the east. And across central New York on the Mesnet camera network, we're picking up on several areas of fog this morning. Again, primarily in those valley locations. Now, the radar is quiet and dry this morning. However, we are tracking a rain shower out to the west. This will likely fall apart before it reaches us here in central New York, but regardless, most of central New York seeing sunshine, 40s and 50s, and then, of course, that patchy fog in parts of the southern valleys, North Country, and Mohawk Valley. And so next 12 hours, sunshine, temperatures climbing into the 80s. However, we have the potential for an isolated thunderstorm later on this evening. Most of the day, though, is going to be dry. We are tracking showers for tomorrow, and then, of course, that all-important Father's Day weekend forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Just weeks away from their first debate.
Welcome back, everyone. We are showcasing our photo of the day on this Thursday morning, and this one was so adorable I could not resist posting this picture. Take a look at this right here. Christina submitted from New Hartford a cottontail bunny. It almost looks as if it's a painting or a portrait. I don't know how you're able to get this shot, but this is a fantastic photo, and of course a cute photo right there of a cottontail bunny, again in New Hartford. So hope this photo brightened your day as it did mine. If you want to submit a photo like this one, send it to the link right there on top of your screen, WKTV.com/weather/pics. Now to the weather. To start this morning, radar is quiet and dry with potential for a stray thunderstorm this afternoon, but most of central New York is going to be entirely dry. Now temperatures, a different story this morning, a little cooler than yesterday. 50s, some spots 40s, isolated locations in the North Country in the 30s. But we're going to climb quickly today from these temperatures right here, 51 Whitesboro, 48 in Little Falls, up into the 80s. It's going to feel extremely different compared to earlier on in the week, along with, of course, more sunshine. We're tracking the warm temperatures today, even warmer temperatures next week, plus that weekend forecast in just a few minutes. Gary?
Who doesn't love the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Eric, thanks. Well, for the first time in Olympic history.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. The time now is 5:50, and we are starting out the day with sunshine. Believe it or not, the sun is out. Let's take a live look along the arterial in downtown Utica, along the traffic camera network. Gorgeous shot of the sunrise out to the east, but not everyone is seeing completely clear skies. I'm going to change our location now to Herkimer along I-90. Well, looks like the banner is covering a little bit of it, but overall, actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to turn off the banner for a second so we can see the fog in the distance because, again, it looks like I can't turn it off right now. Oh, well. There's fog out in the distance. Moral of the story is we got patchy fog, temperatures in the 40s and 50s. 50 degrees in Utica right now, refreshing humidity, and of course that early sunrise, earliest of the year. Next few days, then the sun will start to rise a little bit later in the morning. And a live look, the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things are all quiet and dry across central New York. And so, with the dry weather today, well, for most of today, it's going to be a great afternoon to go out and do some yard work or mowing. The humidity will be on the rise, and we can't rule out a stray thunderstorm. So it's not the best day, which is why we have it indicated in yellow. Then we have orange for tomorrow with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Maybe a window of dry weather here and there, but the best bet obviously is going to be this weekend on Saturday with low humidity and plenty of sunshine. The MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Speaking of this weekend, Father's Day weekend shaping up to be the best we've seen all year long. Sunshine both days, low humidity, 5 stars each day. First time I've done this. Again, we couldn't ask for better weather to celebrate Father's Day, and of course, I feel like that'll be my gift for my father and of course my grandpa, who is probably watching right now. Happy early Father's Day. So, following Father's Day weekend, there are signals of a heat wave, and I want to explain why there are signals of a heat wave. It's called a Bermuda high. It's happening as high pressure south of us sets up right off the Atlantic coast over Bermuda, and it drags in that high heat and high humidity. And notice the jet stream way up north that's allowing all that warm air to pool over the northeast. And this could last for a few days with temperatures approaching the low to mid 90s. But for now, on our Skycast, we're talking about cooler temperatures, 40s and 50s, sunshine, a few clouds in the sky this afternoon with temperatures peaking in the low to mid 80s. Can't rule out a stray shower or thunderstorm, but again, most of central New York looking dry. Then overnight, scattered light rain showers, then scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. These will intensify south and east of us, so the concern for stronger wind gusts are not really present here in our area, but there could be some heavier downpours embedded with those showers. For today, though, partly cloudy, high of 86. Tonight, a low of 66 with scattered showers. 7-day forecast. Following today, we've got rain showers for Flag Day, then a beautiful weekend ahead for Saturday and Sunday, and then warming up as we head to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. We'll be right back.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And it will be one warm Thursday, won't it?
Yeah, it's kind of shocking. We got 50s and 60s the past few days, and now we're talking 80s,
Wow.
nearly 20 degrees warmer than the past few. And along with that, too, the sunshine. Sunshine is arriving. In fact, a live look outside right now across central New York. We've got gorgeous blue skies, a great view of the sunrise. Unfortunately, though, some locations, and you can see out in the distance in the Mohawk Valley, fog is forming, and that's in pretty much most isolated valley locations. Southern valleys, Mohawk Valley, those valleys up in the North Country as well. And there's some faded fog in Cooperstown early this morning. Temperature sitting at 46 degrees, so a little bit more crisp today than the past few, but these temperatures will quickly climb. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are looking at dry conditions all across central New York this morning with sunshine in Rome, fog down in parts again of the southern valleys with less than a mile visibility. And today, that fog burns off. Sunshine is pretty prominent today with highs approaching the low to mid 80s. But following this afternoon, we could see a stray thunderstorm, but that's really about it rain-wise. We got a better shot for rain tomorrow, but even a beautiful weekend expected for Father's Day weekend. We'll talk about that, plus potential heat wave next week and that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. This past weekend, Utica police.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. It's currently 6:10 and we're getting you set to head out the door this morning on your Munson CommuteCast. And to start, let's take a live view outside along the arterial here in downtown Utica. A gorgeous view of that sunrise, the earliest sunrise of the year over the Mohawk Valley. But you can notice on the distance potential for some patchy fog to form, and we can see it as well on our satellite feed coming in, mainly the southern valleys, parts of the Mohawk Valley, and some valley locations in the North Country. Higher elevations looking a lot more clear. A live view of traffic flow data coming in across central New York. Again, this morning, mainly quiet conditions, no accidents to report, but reminder though, that Route 5S westbound is closed for paving between Mohawk and Ilion. Again, westbound on Route 5S for the next 2 weeks to allow paving to occur. But for today though, we're talking about temperatures climbing into the 80s. To start, though, a little cooler in the 60s and in some spots early this morning, 40s and 50s. But again, this afternoon, sunshine across the board. Chance for a stray thunderstorm, but following today, we've got rain showers tomorrow, but maybe a very nice weekend ahead. We'll talk about that in the minutes ahead. Gary?
One of the best weekends of the year.
Oh, easily, easily.
Eric, thanks. Enchanted Forest Water Safari is...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a cloudy and cool stretch, but that will change today. Starting out this morning, it's cool, but notice the difference. We're not talking about a thick cloud layer over the Mohawk Valley. We're talking about plentiful sunshine. Of course, some patchy fog way out in the distance as we face the east towards the Mohawk Valley. But regardless, we're going to be seeing a lot more of this today and a lot less of overcast skies. Now, current conditions, 51 in Rome with refreshing humidity, south-southeast wind at 6 miles per hour, and the earliest sunrise of the year for the next few days. Following the 16th, the sunrise will slowly get later and later in the morning. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things are all quiet and dry across the region. We're tracking a shower out over Lake Ontario that's expected to weaken before it reaches the shores off of Watertown. And so on our MoCast for the next few days, if you want to do some yard work, I would say yes for today, but there are a few things. Humidity will be on the rise for this afternoon, and there could be the potential for a stray thunderstorm. So you can do some mowing today, but if you want to make sure you're aware of any thunderstorms developing or a downpour near you, download the Storm Tracker weather app with the QR code right below me. You can scan it with your phone if you have an iPhone or an Android, and it will give you live radar information, give you warnings. Of course, no warnings are expected today, but of course, if you're outside, great tool to use. Tomorrow, not so much. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then on Saturday, the best day with lower humidity and plenty of sunshine. The MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Speaking of the weekend, we've got beautiful weather expected for the weekend, probably the best we've seen in the entire year of 2024, and probably for this entire year we're going to be seeing with low humidity, sunshine, 70s, 5-star ratings for both days. Now, to our Skycast, we've got temperatures starting out in the 40s and 50s this morning, climbing into the low 80s to mid 80s by this afternoon. You can see here a stray thunderstorm or shower possible. Following that, though, we'll see mainly dry conditions until overnight. That's when we'll see some scattered rain showers and thunderstorms develop by tomorrow. A bit unsettled, a few downpours here and there, and then it'll set the stage for a beautiful weekend. And so today, highs in the mid-80s, partly sunny skies. Tonight, 66, scattered showers. 7-day forecast. Great Father's Day weekend, and then here comes a warm-up. A heat wave is possible by next week with temperatures soaring into the low 90s with dew points, or I should say, feels like temperatures in the mid-90s. Gary?
It's a heat wave on its way.
Yes, warming up pretty quick.
Eric, thanks. Father's Day is fast approaching.
2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday, the 13th. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
No Friday the 13th.
No Friday. We got a Thursday, so a day off. But we're talking about a nice day today. We've been long awaiting the warmer temperatures, summer-like conditions, and sunshine.
And here it comes.
Here it comes. Let's take a live look outside right now and see that sunshine to start out your day today. It's been, I would say, since, it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all cloudy starts the day. So I think it's pretty nice we finally get a sunny start. But notice on the distance, we got patchy fog developing in parts of the Mohawk Valley, as well as the southern valleys and North Country. In fact, here's a live view in Oneonta. I wish I could show the sunrise today, the earliest sunrise of the year, but unfortunately, the cloud or the fog is impeding it at this point. A live look at the radar. Quiet conditions all across central New York, and temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Saranac Lake currently at 39 degrees. And patchy fog, as you can see here, locations of reduced visibility, some spots less than a mile visibility, but that's temporary. Next 12 hours, sunshine, highs, surprisingly, in the low to mid 80s. I know it's been a very cool week, but the heat, the summertime heat, has returned. Now, we can't rule out a stray thunderstorm today, but most of the afternoon is going to be pretty dry. We're tracking the rest of what you can expect today, plus rain showers tomorrow, and maybe a top 10 weekend of the year in that forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Just weeks away from their first debate of this election.
Good morning, welcome back. We are showcasing our photo of the day today, and this one, out of all the submissions, caught my eye because this one put a smile on my face, and hope it did, is going to for you guys as well. Look at this adorable photo of a cottontail rabbit taken in New Hartford by Christina Cummings. And I want to know is, how did you get this close of a shot in this much detail? It's a gorgeous shot of a rabbit. And of course, a reminder for those of you who are mowing some lawns today or over the weekend to check for some baby rabbits in the grass, because they do like to burrow down there, and you always want to make sure that you're not going to be running over any of them. But again, beautiful shot right there. If you want to submit a photo like this one, send it to the link on top of your screen, wktv.com/weather/pics. Radar is quiet this morning. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. We're talking about that warm up today, plus what we can expect for the weekend straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. For the first time in Olympic.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Long-awaited sunshine is here. Now, it was a bit chilly in some spots. Temperatures in the 40s in parts of the North Country, upper 30s. But a live look at downtown Utica right now on the arterial traffic camera. We can see, of course, gorgeous blue skies, traffic picking up, and some patchy fog out in the distance. There's some fog in Oneonta, as well as parts of the North Country, indicated by some of our sky watchers as well. 51 officially at Griffiths and Rome, refreshing humidity. Enjoy that for now, because humidity will be on the rise as we head throughout the afternoon, with warmer temperatures in the 80s, and of course, the earliest sunrise of the year being today. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, a live radar. Things are all quiet and dry across the region. Rain showers out over Lake Ontario expected to weaken as they reach the shore. For today, we've got mostly dry weather, the chance for an isolated thunderstorm late. So I would say yes for mowing, but just beware of a potential sudden downpour this evening. But that's really about it rain-wise. Most of the day is looking dry. Not so much for tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. But your best bet for mowing the lawn will be Saturday with low humidity, sunshine, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. As a matter of fact, the entire weekend is looking just absolutely fantastic. The first time I could confidently say we're going to have 5-star days both Saturday and Sunday. Low humidity, sunshine, 70s across the board. Even for Father's Day, just great weather. I think it's a great gift for Father's Day for those of you planning some cookouts. Following Father's Day weekend, there are signals of a potential heat wave next week. Now, why is there a signal of that? Well, it's called a Bermuda high. High pressure south of us sets up off the Atlantic coast over the Bermuda area. And this will drag in all that heat and humidity over the northeast, and it will set in our area for at least a few days. But for now, though, a cooler start, temperatures in the 40s and 50s, climbing very quickly into the low to mid 80s by this afternoon. A very warm day, higher humidity, chance for a spotty thunderstorm. Tonight, we'll see a few scattered showers develop, and then same thing for tomorrow afternoon, although we could see some embedded downpours a bit heavier at times pushing through the region later on in the day. But again, today, 86 the high, partly cloudy, stray thunderstorm late tonight, a low of 66 with scattered showers. 7-day forecast. Beautiful Father's Day weekend, but a reminder though, as we head into next week, here comes that potential heat wave with temperatures climbing into the 90s, and as well as the higher temperatures, higher humidity as well. I'll be right back.
Is joining us now, and Eric, it is heating up out there. Quite a change from the past few days.
Yes, it happened suddenly. It was cool and refreshing this morning. Before you know it, it was hot and humid already. So we got temperatures in the 80s
already.
right now.
Wow.
Yes, and this is a sneak peek what we can expect next week. And I want to mention the potential of a heat dome or a Bermuda high, and I want to explain kind of what it looks like in the bigger picture. This is high pressure over the eastern U.S., and the way winds work is winds rotate around high pressure like this, and if high pressure is strong enough, it'll surge all this heat and humidity directly into our local area, producing very warm temperatures. This is for next week, though. For now, we'll just stick with the 80s and sunshine and a stray thunderstorm this evening. Live satellite, of course, cloudless for the first time in, I would say, 3 or so days, and dry in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Next 12 hours, sunshine, high temperatures, high humidity, stray thunderstorm, best chance for rain showers arrive overnight and into tomorrow from a cold front. And then after that, we are looking at potentially one of the best weekends we've seen all year long. We'll talk about that in that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. This next story may be...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. The time now is 12:39 and lots of sunshine arriving here in central New York, and it's warmer out as well. A live look in Cooperstown. Temperature in Cooperstown, a balmy 77 degrees. I would say a heat wave compared to earlier this week with 50s and 60s, but for now the heat wave is still, I would say, roughly a week away. Officially 79 at Griffiths and Rome. Humidity has skyrocketed within the past few hours. It was very refreshing early this morning, jumped about 20 degrees with the dew point, nearly 30 degrees with the temperature. And the radar is quiet and dry all across central New York, and although it's dry for now, we can't rule out a stray thunderstorm this evening with that high humidity. And so, if you're planning any mowing or yard work today, I would say go ahead and do it. Just keep your eye to the sky for potential thunderstorm. But your best bet for doing yard work would be on Saturday with lower humidity, plenty of sunshine, temperatures upper 60s, low 70s. No go for Friday with all that rain expected during the morning, at least the overnight hours, early morning, and then in the evening. The Mowcast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Speaking of this weekend, we could be seeing one of the best weekends all year long. Low humidity, sunshine, 70s. I'm still sticking to my 5-star ratings both days. You couldn't honestly give a better gift for Father's Day than, of course, great outdoor weather for potentially some cookouts. Now, it's nice this weekend, but take a look at this temperature trend. 90s expected by next week. We're going to be in the midst of somewhat of a heat wave, all due to a Bermuda high sitting up off the Atlantic coast. We'll talk a bit more about this potential heat coming up tonight as well as throughout the weekend. But focusing on today's weather, a big warm-up today. Already in the low to mid 80s over much of the region at this point. Stray thunderstorm possible, otherwise mainly sunny skies. A few scattered showers develop overnight into early tomorrow morning, and then a few rounds of additional rain showers and thunderstorms arrive by the afternoon. So tomorrow, I would be leaning more towards a washout. A few breaks of rain showers here and there, but we have better days ahead as we head into Saturday, with temperatures already starting out in the 60s in the morning, climbing into the upper 60s, low 70s by the afternoon. But for today, highs in the 80s, partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a low of 66 with a few scattered showers. Your 7-day forecast. Flag Day tomorrow, again, a bit unsettled, but take a look at that Father's Day weekend. Gorgeous weather, our first completely dry weekend for both days all year long, at least since it's been warm enough. And then we got sunshine on Monday and high heat and humidity for Tuesday and Wednesday. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Happening today and tomorrow. The
Weather Center and Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
You know, who would have thought 82 would feel so much warmer?
A lot.
It's been a while since we've gotten this warm. We're going to be talking about higher levels of heat as we go forward. We're sitting at 82 degrees. It is a little bit muggy outside, but this is just the beginning of some very hot weather that will eventually arrive next week. Before the heat really gets here, though, we will have a little bit of a break here. We should see a very nice weekend ahead. Keeping an eye on the radar this evening. While most of the area is dry, I'm noticing a couple of pop-up showers. We'll keep an eye on these. So far, these don't last for very long, and this is moving to the east here. So a few of you may briefly get wet this evening. More showers are expected tonight as a cold front arrives, and rain will be around through early Friday before the weather clears out. We've got a beautiful weekend ahead. Sunshine, very comfortable with highs in the 70s, but then we've got a dome of heat coming our way next week, and it's very likely that we will have a heat wave with temperatures in the 90s beginning Tuesday. Mostly cloudy this evening. Again, a brief sprinkle is possible. Temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. We're tracking when that rain arrives as we head into tonight. Look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Last year, Oneida County students.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking a few sprinkles approaching from the west. These are not expected to cause any big issues. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Stern Tracker 2 Doppler radar. They're moving in from the west, and again, you can see that the coverage of these isn't all that much. Closer view of this showing, again, just a couple of dots on the screen here. You could get hit with a very brief shower this evening if you're heading out, but it's not going to last long. These are heading to the east, and we will get a chance to dry out as we head into tonight. Live look in downtown Utica, 84 degrees. Wow, it feels a lot warmer than that, and I think it's just because we're not used to it with the temperatures being in the 50s and 60s over the past several days. But here we are, back to summer. And after a couple of cooler days ahead, cooler being in the 70s, as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, temperatures are going to warm up again. Monday, 86. And we are looking at a high likelihood of a heat wave beginning Tuesday and lasting into most of next week with high temperatures in the low 90s. These are just the air temperatures, too. When you factor in the humidity, it looks to be even warmer than that, perhaps feeling like the mid to upper 90s. But again, we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll give you more precise information as we get closer. There's the chance for a few thunderstorms tomorrow. It's primarily south of Utica across Otsego and Chenango counties. Some gusty winds are possible, along with some locally heavy rain. I think the overall risk for severe weather tomorrow is relatively low. Most of us are just going to be dealing with some rain late Friday morning into early Friday afternoon. This is all being caused by a cold front that is going to be approaching the area from the west. You can see this line developing. That'll be around late tomorrow morning. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. We could see a brief shower here after midnight. Overnight lows drop down into the upper 60s, so it is going to be a mild night. Tomorrow, an unsettled day with the chance of rain late Friday morning into early Friday afternoon. Again, some thunderstorms are possible south of Utica. Temperatures climb into the low to mid 70s. Skies clear out Friday night, and the stage is set for a wonderful start to the weekend. We're looking at a strong area of high pressure on Saturday. Temperatures start out in the 50s. We'll climb into the low 70s. It's going to be refreshing Saturday night with a lot of places falling into the 40s. But that will be the end of the cooler weather. We've got a heat wave expected next week as a dome of high pressure builds in from the west. It's a very strong signal that we're getting in the extended outlook. So I think we're going to be dealing with this a lot longer than we usually do, with several days in the 90s. Tonight, scattered showers, a low of 66. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, again, some rain expected late in the morning and into the early afternoon. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, looking at a heat wave beginning Tuesday, temperatures in the 90s, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Some scattered thunderstorms are possible too, especially Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
All right.
Well, the Sunshine State is...
We need to eat our ice cream.
Thankfully, you can kind of pace yourself this evening, although you're going to want to eat it quicker than you normally would. We're looking at temperatures in the low 80s this evening, so eat it pretty quickly, but you don't have to wolf it down. We're looking at a very lovely evening in central New York, although we are looking at a few brief showers that are developing. These won't last for very long. They're going to head off to the east as we head into the next couple of hours. More showers are expected tonight, but again, looking at temperatures in the low 80s this evening. Should be a great evening to take the dog out for a walk. Tonight's featured dog, Moose, from Forestport, finding a way to stay cool. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We're tracking a beautiful weekend, and then the heat is expected next week. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Back over to you.
All right, Bill. Calling all Swifties tonight. The Great New York State Fair has announced that DJ Swiftie is bringing a Taylor Swift dance party to Chevy Court.
There will be no bad blood on August 30th to wrap up what is hopefully not a cruel summer. The show is at 9 p.m. that night. The tribute artist has over 60 shows planned this year, coast to coast. The show is included in the price of admission to the state fair.
And you tease me about the hot dogs, though.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening and welcome back. We're tracking a few sprinkles out there this evening. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet and it's warm. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Stern Tracker 2 Doppler radar. These are moving through, so I don't expect them to last long. There's one shower just south of Rome moving to the east. This will move between Utica and Trenton. And again, not lasting for very long, just a few sprinkles here. And then the rest of the evening looks pretty nice. Live look at Old Forge, temperature of 78. A warm day today. It's amazing how much warmer it feels just because of how cool it's been. We only made it into the low 80s today. It's going to get a lot warmer looking ahead. Air conditioner weather this evening, maybe, if your house is warm enough. We'll cool off here as we head into the weekend. Should be pretty comfortable. In fact, you can open up your windows and cool off the house here, especially Saturday and Saturday night. But then things start to change. We've got a significant shift in the weather pattern and some very warm weather in store beginning Monday. Looking to get the lawn cut over the next couple of days. Tomorrow it looks wet. I highly recommend taking care of it either Saturday or Sunday because it's going to be beautiful, and you're going to want to get it cut when it's comfortable out because next week it is going to be hot. Our MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. There is a small risk of severe weather tomorrow, especially south of the Mohawk Valley. We're expecting developing thunderstorms, and Otsego, Chenango County could see some gusty winds with those storms that roll through. Most of us, though, will unlikely see very much in the way of thunder and lightning. It's mainly going to be rainfall. Mike in New Hartford, 84 degrees. Norway, 77. Jeff and Mohawk, 83. Cooperstown, Stewart with 79, and Skinevus with 84. We're tracking a cold front that will work in from the west as we head into very early tomorrow. That'll be our next chance of widespread rain. Could see a few showers after midnight. Temperatures start out in the low 70s tomorrow morning, but I'm expecting a round of rain in the late morning to early afternoon. Again, a few rumbles of thunder are possible south of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures climb into the low 70s. Skies clear out for tomorrow night, and the stage is set for some really nice weather on Saturday. High pressure in control. It looks very comfortable with high temperatures in the 70s with a light breeze. A dome of heat is expected to develop as we head into next week, which could bring us a heat wave that's 3 days in a row at or above 90 degrees. This could extend into the end of the week as well. Scattered showers tonight, low of 66. Tomorrow, looking at, again, a round of rain in the late morning and early afternoon, high of 76. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Beautiful weekend ahead. Enjoy it. Sunshine, comfortable temperatures in the 70s. Overnight lows in the 40s Saturday night. But it doesn't last. We're into the mid-80s Monday, and it is looking hot. Those alert days for the heat, the humidity, temperatures in the low 90s. The heat index could be approaching the upper 90s, especially Wednesday afternoon. So some pretty significant hot weather ahead with some showers and thunderstorms possible Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
And now for a first look at the forecast, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
A warm day today, a temperature of 85 degrees at Griffiths and Rome, and it does feel muggy, the humidity on the way up. Generally a pleasant day, although we are keeping an eye on the radar. We've been noticing a couple of sprinkles showing up. They're very, very short-lived, and in fact, a lot of these have been falling apart over the last hour. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Some showers will be returning late tonight and into early Friday as a cold front arrives. This cold front is going to bring a beautiful weekend with plenty of sunshine, very comfortable during the day and very comfortable at night. And then heading into next week, there are all signs point to a heat wave in central New York with the weather warming up Monday and it turning hot beginning Tuesday. And it looks like it's going to last for several days, which is a little unusual for June. Usually the hot days usually last 1 or 2 days. Mostly cloudy this evening, temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. We're tracking, again, that beautiful weekend and some hot weather early next week. A look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
It's Flag Day tomorrow, and if you're old.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Much warmer today. Temperatures climbing into the low to mid 80s. We've been watching the radar this evening. Let's take a live look at it. We've been noticing a couple of very brief pop-up showers. There's one just to the west of Utica. A brief sprinkle is possible this evening, but these are really weak and really short-lived, so not really a big deal. In fact, you can see a lot of sunshine in the sky. It's a live look in downtown Utica. This is looking to the east. Temperature of 81. A very warm day today. Will cool off as a cold front arrives tomorrow. We're back into the 70s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But then a significant change in the weather pattern will take place next week. Monday, we're into the mid-80s, and it's very likely that we're going to have a heat wave here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with temperatures in the low 90s. That's the air temperature. When we factor in the humidity, I think a lot of places could be pushing the mid to upper 90s, and even triple digits is not off the table. But again, we're going to take things one day at a time and see how likely that will be. So with that being said, I highly recommend you getting that lawn cut. This weekend is going to be the time to do that. Friday, tomorrow, we're looking at some showers for Flag Day. Saturday and Sunday, the weather looks dry, and again, it's going to be very comfortable this weekend. Don't wait. I don't think many folks will be enjoying cutting the lawn in the 90s. Maybe some of you do. By the way, our MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Tomorrow's showers could be a few rumbles of thunder to the south. In fact, there is a low chance that a few showers could develop into thunderstorms producing gusty winds, primarily in Otsego and Chenango County during the late morning to early afternoon. Sky watchers, Mike in New Hartford, 84 degrees. Jeff in Mohawk, 84. And Worcester, Carol checking in with 80 degrees. We've got a cold front working in from the west. This will be arriving tomorrow. A few showers are possible after midnight. We'll start out tomorrow morning cloudy. Best chance of rain will be during the late morning to early afternoon. Again, some rumbles of thunder are possible south and west in east of Utica. Temperatures climb into the 70s. Beautiful weather expected on Saturday. Will clear out Friday night. And the stage is set for a wonderful day. Sunshine on Saturday, temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Big pattern change ahead for next week. We've got a big heat dome expected to develop across the Northeast. We're talking about not only hot weather, but prolonged hot weather, which is a little unusual for the middle of June. Usually we get these longer stretches in July and August, but I think this is going to be a little bit earlier this year. Scattered showers tonight, low of 66. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, around a rain during the late morning, early afternoon, 76 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Beautiful weekend ahead. Temperatures in the 70s, 86 Monday, and we've got alert days out for the high heat and humidity. Again, temperatures in the low 90s, but that heat index could be in the upper 90s. So some pretty serious heat ahead.
Wow, take it seriously. Bill, thank you.
Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6, we review forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. We're having a heat wave, or it's coming.
Yeah, we're looking ahead, and we're feeling pretty confident that there's going to be a heat wave here next week. So we dug through the books, we went through the records and said, okay, when was the last time we had a heat wave? June 27th through 29th of 2021. We had 2 of them in 2020, and then 1 in 2018. So 4 in the past 6 years, but then you go backwards in time, you've got to go 5 more years before we get one. So they used to be, they used to be a lot less common, although recently they've become a little bit more common. And again, we're tracking the possibility of one as we head into next week. Remember, a heat wave, 3 consecutive days in a row at or above 90. And it really should be hard statistically to do this in central New York because we only average 5 days at or above 90 for the whole summer. So stringing them in a row, again, statistically, the odds don't favor that. 75 degrees, the current temperature. It is a warm night here in central New York. We've had a lot of cool weather, so this is a change. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the area, but I am tracking a couple of thunderstorms to the west, moving across Lake Ontario. That could bring us a few showers. It may be a rumble of thunder tonight, but a better chance for some rain is expected as we head into Friday, especially the late morning to early afternoon. And then we're tracking those warmer temperatures ahead. A look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Utica City Cruise today.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are keeping an eye on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar this evening. While it is quiet, we're watching to the north and west. This is an area of showers and thunderstorms producing lightning across Lake Ontario. The projected path is expected to carry this to the east tonight. So if this holds together, we could see some thunderstorms out of this. Our forecast models say probably not, that these will probably weaken, but until they do, we're going to continue to keep a close eye on those moving in. Again, it would just be thunder and lightning, no severe weather expected with that being damaging winds or small hail. Live look in downtown Utica, temperature of 77. It is a warm night across the region. We've got some cooler weather ahead, at least for the next couple of days. Temperatures in the 70s. And then we flip a switch beginning Monday. We've got a gigantic heat dome that's going to build over our area. And we're looking at 3 days in a row at or above 90. Our heat wave begins Tuesday, and it likely carries into at least Thursday. With that being said, I highly recommend getting the lawn cut this weekend. The weather looks to be nice, comfortable. Maybe you do like cutting the lawn in the heat, but if you don't, again, do it over the weekend. Our Mowcast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Tomorrow, not a great day to cut the lawn. We're expecting some showers. Even a rumble of thunder is possible. The Storm Prediction Center has the southern valleys in a marginal risk of severe weather. That means some gusty winds are possible. I think the timing here is early in the day, during the late morning, early afternoon, which tends to limit the strength of storms. So I think we'll look out. I think the better chance of severe weather will be in eastern New York. Radar and satellite image, again, tracking a cold front moving in from the west. Tonight, again, some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Overnight lows drop down into the mid-60s. Friday morning starts out dry, but then as that cold front approaches, we're expecting a round of rain during the late morning to early afternoon. Some thunder is possible south of the Mohawk Valley. Skies clear out tomorrow night, and the weather over the weekend looks great. temperatures in the 70s on Saturday. That heat dome builds in as we head into next week. Again, multiple days in a row at or above 90 degrees. Scattered showers tonight, low of 66. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, showers 76. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, it is going to get much warmer here. Beginning Monday, 86. We've got alert days for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, I just want to mention, I know that not everybody deals with, not everybody has trouble in the heat. Some people
Right.
really love it.
Sure.
The alert day is not for you.
Exactly.
It's for people that struggle with the heat and the humidity, and there are a lot of people that do. So that's why we have it out there.
Yep, we want to make sure they're ready for
Yes.
it. All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next, we head to Capitol Hill for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. I'm not going to sing, but we are expecting a heat wave.
Yeah, so we did our homework. We looked at the data into the past and figured out, okay, when was the last time we had a heat wave?
Sure.
Here are the past 5 heat waves in central New York, June 27th through 29th of
So
2021.
3 years ago.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
got to go back 40 years. We had a couple of them in the year 2020, as well as 2018. So you've got 4 in the past 6 years. And when we were going through our records, we did notice that as we go backwards in time, there seemed to be a lot less of them
Right.
in the earlier 2000s. We've noticed a lot more recently. And again, 4 in the last 6 years definitely stood out. We could be adding another one to the list here. In fact, I think it's very likely to happen next week. Remember, a heat wave is 3 days in a row with temperatures at or above 90 degrees. It's supposed to be hard to do when you typically average 5 90-degree days in any given summer. To get 3 in a row is typically uncommon. Partly cloudy skies, a temperature of 78 degrees. We're keeping an eye on the radar this evening. There are some thunderstorms to the west out near Lake Ontario. We'll show you those in a minute. But again, we could see a rumble of thunder tonight, low temperature of 66. We're tracking some cooler weather for the weekend, and then the heat is on. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Utica City Crew.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, and we are keeping an eye on this line of thunderstorms to the north. A lot of lightning strikes, and it's very likely that this is going to hold together tonight enough to produce some thunder and lightning. In fact, there's a severe thunderstorm warning in this box zone across northern Lewis County. While this is technically out of our area, if this were to hold together, this would be impacting the North Country as we get into tonight. Again, a lot of thunder and lightning strikes with this. The forecast is for this to weaken somewhat, but I'm not seeing enough evidence of that. I thought it would be a little bit faster for see some more evidence of weakening. But bottom line is, plan on a rude and uncalled for wake-up call tonight. A temperature of 76 in downtown Utica. It is warm. We are seeing a cold front moving through tonight and tomorrow. It's going to cool down temperatures into the 70s. Enjoy it this weekend. It looks beautiful. We've got some hot weather ahead as we get into next week. With that being said, you're going to want to get the lawn cut over the weekend. That's the best time to do that. Our MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Chance of some strong weather tomorrow, primarily south of the Mohawk Valley, as thunderstorms develop in the late morning to early afternoon. Again, keeping an eye on that round of thunderstorms moving to the north tonight. We're expecting showers and thunderstorms to come to an end as we head into tomorrow morning. Temperatures start out in the low 70s. Cold front itself arrives in the late morning to early afternoon. I'm expecting a round of rain, maybe some thunder south of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures climb into the 70s. We'll dry out tomorrow night. We'll clear out as we get into Saturday. The weather looks great Saturday. Sunshine, comfortable temperatures in the low 70s. A heat dome builds in for next week. We're talking about a stretch of weather in the 90s beginning Tuesday and likely lasting into the end of the week. Tonight, scattered showers, a low of 66. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, steadier rain in the late morning to early afternoon, 76 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. And Saturday, a high of 72. Beautiful on Father's Day. Lots of sunshine over the weekend. Very comfortable, low humidity. Temperatures in the mid-80s on Monday. And it looks hot and humid with high temperatures in the low 90s. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll be right back.